Welcome and thank you very much for checking out my review of Trolls World Tour, the sequel to 2016's weird success. Trolls once more directed by Walt, Dorn, and David P. Smith, and bringing back the stars of Kendrick and Justin Timberlake, with many additions including Rachel Bloom, who plays the main villain. Now this film has been released directly into VOD, and it did not get a theatrical release for obvious reasons, what is going on with the world, but there's a lot of talk about how Universal did the movie theaters dirty with their attitude towards this release. I'm not going to get into all that in this review. I will say, however, that Universal was kind of dumb. They did a bad thing. They did a thing in a bad way, rather, but that's really it. Let's get into the review. Poppy and Branch discover that they are but one of 6 different troll tribes scattered over 6 different lands, devoted to 6 different types of music: funk, technical, classical, pop, rock, and country. And one of the rock trolls, Barb, wants to dominate the world and have everyone listen to rock and no other music. So that's a great way to make sure everyone is rooting for your villain. I was not a big fan of 2016's Trolls. I love the animation and the textures, and I'll get into that a little bit more in this review, but it wasn't a good movie. It had nothing to it whatsoever. It was just a lot of yelling and singing, and a movie that didn't have anything on its foundations, really. Trolls World Tour, however, is a little bit better. You can see there's a structure in this film, and when it comes to characters, it actually does something challenging with them. At the same time, it also feels like it doesn't even recognize the existence of the first movie. That's neither a good thing or a bad thing, for me at least, just an observation that I'm sharing right now. It feels like this is a soft reboot, like let's not recognize anything that happened in the first movie. Those bigger creatures that were eating the trolls are not even referenced. The 2 that survived don't even show up. Even the quick recap that the film does at the beginning only references the differences between Poppy and Branch in the first film and how they came together and became best friends. And I guess that's all that happened in the first movie. Getting back into characters a little bit, I like how this film has characters constantly facing their flaws, their insecurities, how at points actually literally annoying they can be to one another, what they are doing constantly wrong. I like that the film does that and how it does it, and how these characters literally, for the story to go on, have to learn to face their flaws and learn from them and accept other trolls' flaws as well. And once more, the animation is beautiful. The textures of this entire world are amazing to look at. You can almost feel how the trolls, the trees, the plants, the ground, the houses feel to the touch just by looking at it. It's everything visually is incredibly detailed, and so are the creatures in this film. I have nothing to complain about. The visuals, the colors, the lighting, everything looks really good. Unfortunately, that's about it when it comes to positives. Once again, even though there's a stronger structure and characters actually have something to do and to learn in this film, it's really scattered all over the place. This film at points, it's so hyperactive. They just constantly sing and keep on changing songs so consecutively that every 15-minute interval, I feel completely exhausted, and not by emotional investment in this story or in these characters, just because they don't stop. I felt like I constantly had to catch my breath. This film is only 90 minutes long. It's 1 hour, 30 minutes, and I don't know, 36 seconds with credits. It's not long at all, yet it feels very dragged out at points. And let's talk about our main villain, Barb, whose father is voiced by Ozzy Osbourne, and I do not think for a second Ozzy Osbourne knew he was being filmed for a film. He was doing voice recordings for a film. I don't even know if he had a script. The film fails at setting up this villain because basically every time she does something, every time she goes to a troll village and takes their string, which every village has a string that she wants to put in this guitar and play rock and roll with every string the trolls have. Every time the movie showcases her conquest, I guess I'd say, it's a flashback of someone telling Poppy or Branch or someone else what Barb just did. So you just basically have a snippet of the destruction. You see her arriving, you see her start to play a song on her guitar, and then it's over and you just see everything destroyed. You see the aftermath. So the film, by choice it feels, fails at showcasing why this villain is a threat. And also, for someone who wants to conquer the world through rock and roll and have no other music, rock and roll is probably, as far as I can remember, the only genre of music to which we don't get treated to an entire song of. We get treated to so many pop songs, we get treated to a lot of funk songs, we get treated to even a country song by Kelly Clarkson, but rock and roll, not a single full song. And that fails miserably when you want to get people to know your villain. The film basically just disregards all of that and constantly focuses on Branch and Poppy, which, granted, as I've said, have something to do in this film, but there's a load more characters in this film as well. The film also easily gets distracted by all its side puns and gags that 70% of the time fail miserably. The other 30% I probably got a chuckle out of. Trolls 2 is an improvement over the first one, but there was so much to improve on from the first one. This film possibly couldn't do it. And worst of all, its major flaws seem to be by choice, unfortunately. I can see Trolls World Tour being enjoyed by people who need a distraction. God knows we all need a distraction at this point, but it just isn't any good. Superior to the first one in almost every way, but that's only because it actually does something. I'm giving Trolls World Tour a C-. Now, what did you think of Trolls World Tour, my beautiful geekies? Let me know in the comments below. What's your favorite genre of music? Who's your favorite troll? Are you a fan of the original 2016 movie? Check out my review for that one, which I have on my channel. And thank you so much for watching. You are the best. I'll be back very soon with more reviews, including Gretel and Hansel, The Other Lamb, and many others. I hope to see you there. And so until then, stay beautiful, stay geeky, and don't forget to subscribe and like the video because it really helps me and the channel out. But most importantly, above everything else, forever and always, love each other and love the movies.